Hey there, I'm Richard Eisenbeis, and this is a preview of The Outcast, Episode 12. The Outcast is a podcast done by myself and two other Japanese-speaking gamers living here, in Japan. On this episode, we talk about, well, us, and what we've been up to since TGS. As a preview, here's part of our discussion on Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light. If you like what you hear, please download the full episode over at theoutcastpodcast.blogspot.com or click the link in the information box below. Peace.
So another game I played just before I headed off overseas, and this is one I honestly had no interest in at all until you turned me onto it, Richard. And that was Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light.
Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light. That is a fun little game.
Now, before we continue this discussion, I think an important point needs to be made, and that is that Lara Croft is spelled L-A-R-A, whereas Laura would be L-A-U-R-A.
Yes,
that's true.
Lara Croft.
Lara Croft, yes.
But anyways, I heard about this isometric angled Tomb Raider. I was like, are you nuts? The whole thing about Tomb Raider is the expansive 3D exploration. That was what defined it when it debuted on the PlayStation 1, the sense of freedom. Isometric dungeons? Are you kidding? No interest at all. And then you showed it to me.
And then I'm like, look, I bought this. I can only play it local because the people who design netcode apparently suck balls. So let's sit on your couch and play some Tomb Raider.
Yep. After making out and all that shit.
Yeah,
but yeah.
You know.
And
you gotta do things in the right order.
Exactly. Priorities. And I was absolutely blown away by how good Tomb Raider was. I mean, Lara Croft was. Seriously, the gameplay was, wow.
Well,
it worked so well.
And it's really cool because, like, all the puzzles use the same basic set pieces, what skills you have. But Laura's skill set and, what is his name, Toek's skill set are so unbelievably different.
Yeah, I'm
and
the half-naked Incan god. I rock.
Yeah, I mean, I know in single player, basically, they just fix it all by giving her the spear.
They give her the spear, right?
Yeah, and then they give extra handholds.
They give her the spear.
Yeah. You know, the fallow spear.
And just the way the levels are constructed so that you can get through them with one person or two people.
Right, because they change little things. They change little
like
things across the level. So
rings for your hook shot.
Right, so that you can do it single player. But it's definitely much better if you play it co-op.
It is such a good experience. I think it's probably the best co-op experience I've had since Left 4 Dead.
It's very interesting because it really is co-op puzzle solving.
Yeah,
that's the thing that's really interesting about it is co-op puzzle solving.
Here comes Portal 2. You're gonna get some of that.
Yeah, I'm. Don't get me wrong. I'll get Portal 2, but I don't know. Like Portal required you to be so fast with your portal placement. Sometimes trying to rely on someone else to be as good as you are.
Yeah,
and
worries me.
More than one person, someone's going to want a teabag, and teabagging through a portal, it just goes forever.
What? You can't even do that. One thing I do want to say about Tomb Raider, though, is I was saying this to Richard this morning, like, I never got the whole Lara Croft as a sex symbol movement in the 90s. Like, she was an ugly character. I don't know what you're talking about.
They're called boobs, Ed.
Her 3 polygon boobs.
They're called boobs, Ed.
And her deformed face on the cover.
A few months back, there was an issue of Retro Gamer. Terrific little magazine, and it was
made by the people who make Edge.
No. It's a UK though.
But it is
for some reason the only good print magazines for games that are still in existence are all from the UK, and they had a special called Loving Lara. It was about the history of Lara Croft and how she went from how she was originally designed, and she was going to be a different nationality, and marketing got involved, and then the posters and how they upped her sexuality for the second one, and how every year there's been a different Lara model girl.
Yeah,
and it's really interesting, and how they kind of tied in with right at the period where the Spice Girls became popular, and that whole girl power movement came in.
Cultural soft power, man,
and it was really kind of interesting and a lot of flashbacks to me. You know, it was really nostalgic because I was seeing some of they had pictures of, and I remember seeing the posters of really badly done 3D polygon Lara in a pool of water.
I remember that.
With their guns
I
out.
totally remember
I'm
that.
like, what's attractive about this?
Yeah, the fact is no one had done it before. It was by today's standards fine, but it was the first 3D rendered female, strong yet sexy female character who you weren't rescuing.
That's probably true.
But that's, at least, in America, I thought it was more about selling the sex rather than her being empowered and culturally
No,
aware.
it was
like,
very,
look at,
I mean,
she's hot.
She has many female fans as male fans back in the day.
Well, that's true.
Today, I'd say she's
I
got
always
way
bring
more
this
male
up, but it was
fans.
one of the greatest experiences of my gamer history is working 60 years retail, selling video games, and so many people would just pluck down their $50 just because she was hot.
Hey,
Oh man, she's
Look,
I
dude,
hear there's a nude
sex
though. I'm
sells,
like,
man.
Yeah, whatever. But this is an ugly character.
was
Like
really-
I was saying to Richard, like okay, like back when that came out in 96, 97, there was also a game called Final Fantasy VII that had attractive female characters and like CG. I mean, obviously they were much lower poly in game, but like the CG characters were much more attractive. But nobody's like, oh my god, look at how hot these girls are.
Yeah, they
Oh,
were.
no, yes, they
They
were.
were.
But not it's like selling the game
Hey,
like
hey.
they did with Tomb Raider.
One of the first things
That
I
was-
ever saw on the internet was materia porn.
That was the selling point of Seven. It's like look how hot she is.
I have seen that.
How many materia can you fit into it? No, let's move
Oh
on.
my god.
All right,
It's-
and Cloud's like, where'd all the materia go?
Yeah, that's where. Yeah, that's
where
how
it
they
went.
carry their material, dude.
Exactly. Anyway, but so yeah, Lara Croft, Guardian of the Light, highly recommended.
Oh yeah, and especially once they get the net code, which apparently is out. It seems for PlayStation Plus members.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
They would
'cause-
do that.
Yeah, that the PlayStation Plus members have got the patch to play multiplayer before the rest of us. But